What's up, collectors and ultra so much enthusiasts? Today I want to finally be taking a look at Transformers Studio Series 8605 Voyager Scourge. Taking a really quick look at the packaging, you can see an actual straight logo on the side, Studio Series on the bottom, 8605, as well as a nice image of him and a nice display of the figure itself. You can see that on the side of the packaging we get the same image, but on a closer look with Studio Series 86 on the top. On the back of the packaging you can see the robot mode and the vehicle mode, as well as the 18 steps you need to transform this guy, and you can see the background there. On the other side we got the same image, but on the further away, and with the 86 on the top as well, and on the very top of the box we got the Transformers the movie. But with that being said, that's pretty much it for the whole thing, so let's get into it. And here we have Transformers Studio Series 8605 Voyager Scourge in hand and out of the packaging. As you can see, looking real nice, really accurate to Transformers the movie representation. It blew my mind. Unfortunately, I have a couple of cons with this guy, and I'm going to discuss those right now. But before we discuss those, here we have the weapon that he brings. Let me see if the camera can focus. There you go. So you can see some nice sculpted in detail towards the whole thing. Really nice, really big indeed. As you can see, it has sculpt there, and you can see the mag and everything, giving you a 360 degrees so you can appreciate the sculpted in detail that the whole thing has. As you can see, really nice blaster indeed, and it also brings a blast effect, this purple thingamajig. Unfortunately this bends, so be careful with this, but as you can see, you can go ahead and peg it in and have a nice blast effect coming out of the blaster itself, and just you can come out with some nice pulsing with this guy. But this is pretty much it for the weapon though. And now for the main event, Scourge himself. As you can see, really accurate to the movie representation indeed. You can see the face sculpt, the chest, the arm, everything, even the wings is super accurate to the movie representation. Unfortunately, my first con, you guys know that I completely hate backpacks, and this, I don't know how to put it to please me, because if I put it like this, I hate it. If I go ahead and put it like this, that this is the way that it comes packaged, I hate it as well. If I go ahead and put it like this and I come from the front, I kind of love it because I don't see it anymore. But on those two alternatives, you can still see the massive spikes coming out of him, and I get this, this is accurate, the wings themselves. But this I don't know, if you put it like this and you look from here, you can see those right there, and it also cannot stand correctly because of the backpack. You have to kind of crouch him a little so he can stand by himself. But as you can see, it's a pain. It's a pain. I don't like this. This is my first con. But moving on to the detail that this guy has on the face sculpt itself, you can see that he has a mustache, and he has some hairs and some stuff. You can see the color really nice indeed. The red eyes with the black outlines, and you can see some nice sculpted in detail in the face. You can see that he looks pissed, really menacing indeed. You can see that the helmet itself has some nice sculpted in detail on the sides as well. You can see that this thing, first of all, this rotates due to transformation though, but you can see that even that has some nice sculpted in detail towards the whole thing. And if you rotate it, it still has some nice sculpted in detail on the back as well. And honestly, solid indeed. This is the way that he looked on the movie and on the G1 series. Super accurate indeed. Moving on to the chest, you can see that the Decepticon logo is flawless, no paint jobs whatsoever. And you can see that on the chest, it has also some nice sculpted in detail towards the whole thing, from top to bottom, and just honestly super accurate indeed. Moving on now to the arms themselves, you can see that same accuracy and the sculpted in detail that he had on those two sections now translates really well to the arm itself. You can see that he has some nails, and even the arms and the hands looks menacing, because you can see it looks like he can choke you to death with them. It looks so good, so shiny. The purple looks so good next to this baby purple or baby gray. I don't quite know which color this is. It looks like a gray, but it's kind of like a baby purple. But whatever color it is, it looks really good next to the purple itself. And as you can see, moving on to the legs themselves, you can see that again, that same sculpted in detail that he had on the top not moves to the bottom really nicely. So you can see some nice sculpted in detail towards the whole thing. And just again, no paint jobs whatsoever. far on either section. That's always a plus for me. As you can see, you know, even on the inside of the legs, it has some nice sculpted in detail as well. You can see some screws there, but you know, you're not supposed to see that. That's not there. And now for articulation, the articulation is actually kind of mediocre. Honestly, I was expecting a little bit more because the quality that we have had with, you know, all the Studio Series line and the 86 line as well as all the other ones, you know, the Earthrise, the Kingdom line, the Siege, the articulation is quality. And for this one, it's kind of mediocre though. I was expecting a little bit more, but you can see that you can move the head side to side. You can technically do a 360 degrees there, and you can do a 360 degrees here as well, you know, due to articulation and the transformation that he has on the face. But you know, moving on to the arm, you can extend about that far, and you cannot extend, you know, to the back due to the backpack that he has, but you can extend about that far, and you can technically do a 360 degrees here, and you have a swivel here as well as a hinge here, so you got a 90-degree bend there, and you also have a swivel on the hand as well. Moving on to the waist, you also have a waist swivel. So honestly, not bad of articulation on the upper section, but I always said that it doesn't matter if you had articulation on the upper section. If you don't have articulation on the legs, it will not matter because you cannot do those dynamic poses that we all love so much. So as you can see, it can extend only about that far, so that's awful. That is just not my taste. And you can extend only about that far on the splits, so you can already tell that this hinders the articulation quite a bit, because you can see this hinge here, this 90-degree band here, you cannot use it as much because you can see you cannot extend it, you know, more than, you know, it's already is. So this is a waste of articulation here because you could technically not use it due to the, you know, the cable that blocks the legs. So that's honestly unfortunate that, you know, we cannot use this section here. That honestly sucks. That's one of my you know, biggest con, other than the back pad itself. But you can see, moving on to the feet, you have some articulation on the feet as well, you know, some ankle pivoting, and you can, you know, unpeg the feet so you can move it just a little bit down and a little bit up, and you can technically do the same thing with this section right here. But as you can see, honestly, kind of mediocre, because when you're trying to pose him, you know, those aggressive pose, you're stuck with just this. I don't know, man. I kind of hate it. And now for the comparison, let me have him a little bit straight so you guys can appreciate the comparison. And here we have Hot Rod, so you guys can see how he looks next to another Voyager for the 86 line. So you can see he's a lot bigger than Hot Rod. Hot Rod is technically a smaller Voyager. And bringing Blurr, so you guys can see how he looks next to a Deluxe class. You can see technically Hot Rod is a Deluxe. As you can see, it's pretty much the same size. This wing thingamajig, you know, the spoiler makes him just a little bit more bigger, but you know, that doesn't count because, you know, it's a spoiler. So as you can see, that's how he looks, you know, next to other 86 lines. By the way, I already did a review on both of them. If you're interested, it's gonna be in the description down below, as well as in the top right corner of this video. But this is pretty much it for the Autobots. Let me go ahead and bring his leader, this fearless leader, Cyclonus himself. So you can see this is how he scales next to Cyclonus. I have not made a video of him. I am currently working on it, but you know, his review is coming out, so stay tuned for that. But as you can see, this is how they look both together, and just honestly, I keep saying it on all my videos, I am so amazed and so surprised how they, you know, they mix and match some lines, because you can see this is from the Kingdom line and this is from the Studio Series 86 line, and they look like they belong on the same line together. As you can see, so accurate to the movie representation. And you know, it's always a plus that he has no backpacks. You can see he's flawless indeed, and this one has just this massive thing. Again, I do not mind the wings. It's these two pieces here that I hate so much. But you can see this is how he looks next to him, and honestly, the scale works because indeed Cyclonus was the bigger foal here, and you know, Scourge was the smaller. But as you can see, so nice. He is technically, you know, these are the Seekers. I don't really remember which you know, Decepticon they were, because it's honestly confusing. But for Scourge, you can technically have an idea. This is the background that he brings, by the way. So you know that the one that was in the middle was Thundercracker. So now you know that Scourge himself is Thundercracker. So that kind of confirms that Cyclonus is Skywork as well, but don't quote me on on Cyclonus, but now it's official that Scourge was the one that was on the metal, and the one that was on the metal was Thundercracker. So, and by the way, now you have the background, so you guys can see, the background that he brings, really nice indeed. You can put it there and, mimic the transformation of all the Decepticons into the new ones. But as you can see, this is pretty much it for the background as well as the comparison. Taking all out of the way so we can proceed to the transformation itself. The transformation is actually pretty easy and pretty fun to do. That's honestly a plus for me because, as you know, I'm really not particular. I'm kind of 50-50 on this guy, but for your transformation, the first thing you want to do is to come here and hide the feet. First the tiny ones on the back, and then the front ones like so, and come here and peg them in like that. And now you want to proceed to unpeg this section right here, stretch it in, and do the same on the other side. Go ahead and unpeg this section, stretch this section out, and now proceed. There's a peg there. Be careful. You want to just make force inward. You want to wig it in because it can break because it's long. So just put it there and leave it be, and go ahead and come here and put it there and leave it be. And that's pretty much it for this section. Moving on to the head, you can come here and technically unpack this whole massive section here. You want to come here and pull this section out, and that's going to reveal a lot of things that now you can come here and kind of like stretch, and you can see two pegs there, right? And those peg there. So go ahead and move and peg those there like so. Go ahead and pull this section outwards like that, so I can peg with the head and come here, and this is the section that is gonna hide the head like so. And by the way, this has a mimic. I'm gonna show you on the on the vehicle mode or on the spaceship mode. I don't know what this is on the jet ski mode. I don't know. I'm gonna show you in a bit the mimic that he has, but you want to come here and stretch these two pieces outwards like so, and you can kind of have an idea of where I'm going with this. You want to pretty much just put this section to hide everything, and there's a peg here. Go ahead and secure this section like so, and then proceed to peg it in like that. And then you want to come here and just put everything on place like so, right? And do the same on this section. Take this out and just proceed to put everything on place, and then peg it in inwards like so, and put this two pieces here that's gonna hide all the robot parts, or try to, because you can technically still see a couple of them. But now, last but not least, you want to proceed to peg this section like this, and peg this section like that. And that's pretty much it for the whole transformation. There you have it. Scourge fully transformed into whatever this is. I'm gonna call it a spaceship. So there you have it. For the vehicle mode, you can see that same accuracy that he had on robot mode now translates really well to the vehicle mode, or the jet mode, or the spaceship mode, or the whatever this is. But as you can see, the accuracy and the sculpted in detail that this guy has. You can see on the sides, you can see that sculpted in detail, really nice indeed. From the front as well, you can see that Decepticon logo looks flawless, no paintings whatsoever on whatever mode this is. Let's just call it spaceship, shall we? So on the spaceship mode, as you can see, no pinches whatsoever, and the accuracy on the side is the same as the opposite side, and you can see that from the top is where the most sculpted in detail is. As you can see, those lines, and so much robotics left and right. As you can see on the exhaust pipes, you can technically come here and put the the laser thingamajig here on either one. You can put it here, you can put it on this one as well, and obviously you can put it on the middle, and this is the most that people are doing, because this is the most that that looks good. It just looks better on the middle. But as you can see, if you have 3 of these, you can go ahead and peg each individual one on each individual section. Let me go ahead and search for a couple of mine. Here we go. So I got a couple of some effects here. Let's see if they can. Oh, perfect. There you go. So you can put that there, and you can put this one here like so if it wants to fit. Come on, there you go. And then you can go ahead and finish it with the one on the middle. And you know, you can recreate some awesome stuff with this thing. As you can see, super nice indeed. I don't remember he doing this on the movie at all, or on the, you know, on the series, but you can go ahead and put this, like, you know, exhausts. As you can see, really nice indeed. Like, you know, he's flying and, you know, shooting as he flies away. But you know, you can do that. It's up to personal preference. Really nice indeed. And you can also come here with the weapon and peg it on the side. But you know how I feel about that. I honestly dislike when, you know, you peg the whole weapon on the vehicle modes, or excuse me, the spaceship mode. On this case, I really like to, you know, hide the weapon or just throw it away and just, you know, enjoy a good, accurate spaceship mode. But as you can see, really nice indeed. For a comparison, here we have Cyclonus, so you guys can see how they look next to one another. And oh my gosh, Cyclonus looks so big next to him, and as you can see, so accurate. Both of them are, but as you can see, they look so nice together. And as you can see from the sides, so accurate, and he just towers over him, so big. You know, on each side and from the front as well as the back. But oh my god, so nice. For the mimic that this guy has, I don't know if you remember, there's a particular episode that this guy shows his head on the spaceship mode, or on the jet mode. I honestly do not know what to call this, but you can technically do this on this figure. Yeah, what you want to do is to go ahead and unpack this section like so, and kind of remove this whole piece so you have some clearance for what you're about to do. So let's go ahead and pull that out, pull this whole section out like so, so you got some room for the head. And what you want to do is to unpack this section right here like so, and pull the head out, and then go ahead and just put the parts under this section like so, and like that. It's kind of a pain because you have to wiggle yourself into this mode. So when you peg this one here and you peg this one here, and you have everything secure back on its plates, what you want to do is, there's a couple of gaps there that you need to go ahead and peg this. So go ahead and peg this there, and peg this on this section right here. And as you can see, let's see if I can do it, he has his head, you know, popping out, and this is actually accurate. He did this on one episode of the G1 series, and as you can see, you know, that episode when they are flying, and Galvatron for some reason is inside Cyclonus, you know, driving him, you know, piloting him, and you know, he is like, Ultra Magnus is mine. There's a couple of Aerobots for you, that sort of scene. If you're a fan, you are gonna know exactly, you know, which scene I am, you know, talking about. But you can see, so nice that, you know, you can technically do that on this one. Super accurate G1 representation, flawless indeed. But now that we have him like that, let's proceed to the transformation back to robot mode. It's pretty easy. You want to just unpeg this full section and unpeg this section as well, and bring this to the very top, so you got some room for unpegging other things. And you want to come here and proceed to unpeg the upper section like so, and then pull the wings out. And when you have it like that, then you can go ahead and proceed to stretch this outwards like so, and do the same on the other side. And that's going to allow you some space to put these pieces back together like so. And it's kind of tricky, honestly. I'll peg this section, pull this down, and again, this is the tricky section. There you go. So when you have it like that, and you finish fighting that section, you will know how to put it together. It's just a matter of fighting with it, and then just proceed to peg it there like so. And that's the most tricky part. The rest is easy. And you know, a word of advice: when you are unpegging this, don't wiggle it, because you're gonna for sure break the peg there. So just pull your two fingers there and just make some force inward like that, and peg it outwards, not wiggling, just outwards. Do the same on this side, and then proceed to peg these two sections like that, peg it here like so, and do the same on this side, peg it in like that and just pull, you know, the hands and arms on precision, and then just proceed to unpeg the rest of the legs like so, and pull out the little feet like so. Do the same on this section and proceed to pull the backpack on a weird position like that. There you go. And there you have it. This is Scourge back into his awesome looking robot mode. And with all that being said, this is pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps the YouTube algorithm and helps my videos get out there in a while. So if you get anything, any value out of my content, please subscribe and I will see you on the next video. But this is pretty much it for Transformers Studio Series 8605 Voyager Scourge.